Hey, welcome everybody to my live stream here on Twitch and on lichess. International Master William Paschall. It's my pleasure to host you guys for some rapid and blitz games on my favorite chess site, lichess. What is up, guys? We had an awesome simul stream yesterday. We are going to be playing something between 5+3 and 7+3. I had challenges from Tushar and Troll in a Roll. What just happened, man? My browser did something crazy and left the screen. Alright, I don't know. I didn't click anything and my browser went back to a different page. There we go. Alright. So, here we are, and I've got a challenge. No Troll in a Roll, just Tushar. We'll get started with that challenge, I guess. Asterbait, what's up? Soltigo. Man, it's so hard for you. It's so late in the night there. I really appreciate you being on here, man. You're going to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Not that long ago, Soltigo was having an operation, so we want him to get his rest. But if you can handle it, man, we welcome you to be here on the stream. So, awesome simul stream yesterday. Insane bit donations. Some good games, some bad games. One of these days I want to do like a 60-60 simul where I would literally have enough time to play really, really well. Well, pretty well anyway. I feel like even with the 40-40, you know, I'm still forced to make a lot of silly mistakes and stuff. So one of these days I think we're going to play a 60-60 simul, but I don't know when. One day. So that's the plan. Tushar candidate, let's just start this game with Tushar. We lost Troll in a Roll. And some people are calling him Tushark. Soltiga calls him Tushark. Alright, that sounds more sense in English, I guess. But Tushar Monday, we're playing the white pieces, and yeah, he's been playing the Queen's Gambit declined. I think learning this opening yesterday, he had I thought a worse position out of the opening in the simul, but he battled back to the point where he was like better out of a bad position and freed himself, and then I was in danger of losing, managing to hold on in a kind of complex endgame. So I welcome you guys. We've got challenges from subscribers first, then the sort of regulars. I'm disappointed with what went down in the candidates tournament. I'm not really looking forward to a replay of Carlsen versus Karyakin. Not that it wasn't close, you know. I like that. That's cool, but I don't really like their styles of play. Both of them are kind of... Did you see, by the way that Karyakin, that position he won against Caruana? I mean, it's like the most boring draw position ever. You know, I never believed that there's like a Nimzovich variation like that was decisive between 2,800 players or whatever they are. I mean, it's like an absolutely equal position out of the opening. And the other one is that Queen E2 Petrov. We've seen Kramnik. And who else? Kramnik and someone else losing losing the black side of the Queen E2 Petrov. I mean, nothing is impossible. Just when you think a position is totally equal, these guys who are 2,800 managed to lose it, you know, so I guess it's not easy. Tushar, this is my game from yesterday. I've been doing a lot of soul searching about this semi-Slav, what I'm going to do. I can't bring myself to play the Marin. Bishop E7 is a passive Queen's Gambit. H6 is the move that really bothers me. If they play D takes C, it's the sharp Botvinnik variation. That's one thing. But the H6, I was thinking yesterday I had another draw. And it's like, if I go back in my life and look at all the games I played in the Moscow variation, I think I was counting it this morning. I must have like 1 win, 5 losses, and something like 4 or 5 draws. So literally, I have 1 win, a ratio of like 5 losses to 1 win or something like that after H6. And the guy yesterday played it against me. I had no idea he was going to play the semi-Slav. I probably shouldn't have even played D4 in hindsight if I had known. But he played different openings. It's so hard when you're at such a massive disadvantage against people. It's like people can literally research like 2,000 of my games, and then in return I can look at 100 of their games. It's like brutal. I mean, Okay, h6 is different from yesterday. I played queen c2 against Tushar yesterday. But I think that rook c1 might be better. Now, I don't have to play bishop f4. I could play bishop h4. Maybe it is better to play bishop h4. I mean, it's a variation. The bishop f4, yeah, is probably not right here. Okay, Gladys Troll, what's up? Sergey did not win the candidates yet. We got 3 rounds left, but he's in first place, tied with Caruana, and the trend is like, you know, very positive for Karyakin, because he beat Caruana in this ridiculous draw line. I mean, I can't believe that that's the way to play for a win with the white pieces, to like go into an absolutely equal position with only, you know, no knights on the board and like symmetrical pawn structure almost. I mean, wow. I mean, if that's the way to play 2800 chess, I don't know. Zero risk. I mean, I could see Karyakin beating like a 2400 or something, you know, but a 2800. He sacked an exchange, and it was like, this is like, what, 2 days ago? I'm acting like it just happened or something, but it's new for me. I only saw it last night. You know, the thing is, it's like, he sacked an exchange, and it wasn't even that devastating. It's like kind of unclear. But Caruana went wrong. You got to give credit to Karyakin, but it's just such a weird way to play for a win, to me anyway. I can't get a handle on Karyakin's game. Can't really understand his style of chess, to be honest. Alright guys, let's focus on what's going on here now. I wanted to avoid exchanges, but I can't avoid all exchanges here, unfortunately. Maybe bishop d3. This seems like a strange move in a sense, but why not? I want to control the e4 square. Yeah, that's right, the e4 square. Actually, there's another issue. I mean, he does have knight h5. I can put my bishop on e5 though, so that's not in itself a problem. This is also a decent move for black, but the fact that he's played h6 in this type of position, you know, doesn't really help black's case for playing the often necessary like f6. Hopefully Tushar is just as sleepy as me, but it's evening there and morning here. All right, guys, had to close the window. It's getting chilly. He fell for the London system. The London system trick of knight takes f7. I also have knight takes c6. I wonder if knight takes c6 allows him less counterplay. F7 would break his king side. Alright, either way, Tushar is not awake yet, like me. Who'd you like to see win the candidates? No, I would, you know, I jinxed the players I liked by rooting for them in the beginning. Next time I'm going to keep it secret as to who I want to win. Like, if I want someone to win, then they finish in last place, basically. That seems to be how it works. Aronian has, like, the worst tournament of his life. But I guess it's not enough to like someone stylistically. You know, they actually have to be the best player in the tournament. But I will go on record again saying my same old spiel that it's one tournament, and it's a bad format for determining, like, a world championship challenger. You know, one tournament, any of these guys could win this tournament. If we ran the tournament 10 times, it's highly likely we'll get like 6 different winners. So that's it. It's random. It's not random, but it's relatively random compared to, say, you know, holding a match system when I think the results would be more consistent. Players had to play each other 12-game matches or something. I think you'd get a more consistent kind of result. But if it's an open, well, not open, but if it's a round robin tournament style, the results are going to be more random than they really should. So I don't know. I'll be bored. I'll sleep through another Karyakin Carlsen World Championship. Not what I wanted to see. Aronian can't handle the candidates. He did badly every time. Well, I mean, you know, you could say he can't handle the pressure, but you don't think there's pressure in like normal tournaments too? I mean, there's got to be pressure in normal tournaments, almost the same in the bigger tournaments, and he does fine. So I don't know if it's that simple. Maybe it's just a kind of bad luck, or there is extra pressure. But I can't believe, dude, the guy's performed the way he has to be 2,800 at the top world of chess, and now he can't handle the pressure. It's like kind of too simplistic. I don't know. But again, you're talking about a very small sample size of tournaments. Like 3 bad tournaments is like meaningless in statistical terms. I just don't like Karyakin's style, you know. It's not, I don't find his games to be very interesting or creative. Or aesthetically, you know, really beautiful. It was weird, this game against Karyakin. I mean, against Caruana. Karyakin, Caruana. It's too hard to say those guys together. But it's not over. I hope that Mamedyarov wins. You know, that's the only thing I guess I can go down in the last 3 rounds and hope that Mamedyarov pulls it out. You know, he's only a half point behind, and he's by far the most interesting player, I think. We've got a monster position here. The bishop a6. Bishop a6 could be something. Pretty much ideal position for white. Avoidance of exchanges in the queen's gambit. Bishop b7, what's up, man? Okay, we've got the strong center, 2 bishops, attacking chances against his king. I could just win a pawn there. We've got the blockade along the c-file, a lot of instructive stuff here, but he's not gonna, he resigned. I don't know why he resigned momentarily. Oh, mate in 2 and I didn't see it. Oh man, I'm not awake yet. Yesterday I dropped my queen in the simul. We had a 20 board simul. I'm like, here, I threatened queen h7 and mate, and I didn't even play it. Okay. The simul yesterday, we had a really huge bits donation from one of the players, and like right after that, I dropped my queen against him in like a really stupid way in the opening, like a smothered mate kind of theme, where I'm not actually getting smothered mated, but it was like an awful blunder, the same magnitude of not seeing mate in 2 here. But at least this morning I have the excuse that I just woke up. I mean, I saw I was threatening queen h7, then I kind of forgot about it. My position is so strong, though. I don't even need to mate him, you know, to win. So this was a disaster for black. He needs to find exchanges in the opening. I don't know about h6, Tushar. My recommendation would be not to play h6 in these type of setups. You know, this is a mainline orthodox variation. But you don't want to play even c6 until I play rook c1. So the way the opening should go is, well, I mean, you actually played a semi-Slav, but if you're trying to play the queen's gambit declined, it should be like bishop e7 first, and then bishop e7 first, bishop g5. If you want to play h6, you play h6. But if you want to play an orthodox style queen's gambit, you need to play this, and then wait for me to play rook c1, and then you play c6. There are some players playing with like h6. It's probably not that bad. Let's say h6, bishop h4. This is some kind of line. I mean, there's far less games with the h6 inserted than in the normal lines, but I guess it's playable. You see here, there's the 72 Fischer-Spassky. which went, let's see, bishop d3, d takes c4. Were we looking at this the other day? D takes c4, b5, bishop d3, a6, a4. This is what Fischer did against Spassky, surprising him by playing d4. And then Spassky took here, not letting his pawns get overextended or whatever. As you can see, it was repeated later in some high-level games, Kamsky, Salov, Morovich versus Ayeskas. Anyway, guys, Grishuk has best chance after Karyak and Caruana. Yeah, because he plays versus Caruana. Okay, that's you know, crazy stuff, but it could happen. It's only 3 games. Never imagined, you know, Grishuk has performed beyond all expectations. Okay, Troll on a Roll is up next. We've got challenges from the subscribers first. No, I appreciate how, you know, Grishuk has been playing fighting chess in this tournament. Really, not playing, you know, scared. Like, he's playing like he literally has nothing to lose, which is true. Okay, Troll on a Roll, 7 + 5, chess 960. I would love to see Grishuk, but he's not even playing. It seems like he's not even playing chess full time. They say he plays poker. A lot of times I had the feeling like Grishuk isn't even trying that hard in the last year or two. Okay, Troll may or may not be here. We'll give him like 30 seconds to... Yeah, no, I mean, I met Grishuk personally. I always talk about the fact that I played pool with him when I was drunk. But he seemed like a really nice guy. I think that he's a great person, and I like Aronion's personality too. But if we talk about just chess, I think that Mamedyarov has a better chance. You know, in a match, he's the strongest player probably of the ones that have a realistic chance of qualifying. You know, not only do I like Mamedyarov's style, he played the best chess of 2018, I think, or 2017, whatever you want to say, like the last 12 months. Mamedyarov has basically dominated the chess world, you know, I thought better than anyone. Maybe Carlsen has better statistics. I don't know. All right, chess 960 with Troll on a Roll is out for now. We'll let him come back. I don't know where he went. I'm going to take Fat President challenge here, 7 + 3. But, you know, I feel like Mamedyarov is more aggressive and more interesting than the others. Okay, Grishuk is interesting as a player too. He plays gutsy chess. I'm curious as to why Grishuk is playing d4 more than e4 with white. I'd like to see Grishuk playing e4 rather than d4. But he did have a winning position against Ding in the early going in the tournament, which was a key game that had he won that game, like the tournament would look very different right now. So, but I don't know. I don't like Grishuk with d4 as much as e4. That's just my personal feeling. Okay. Gladys Troll, what happened? You're back. You're back. All right, Gladys Troll, just feel free to get back in the challenge queue there, and we'll see what we can do. Fat President. Don't know too much about Fat President. We played in the last month or two. Looks like 7 times. He's pretty strong. Doesn't work the internet. That is a problem. What are we going to do here? Grunfeld, King's Indian, Neo Grunfeld with d5. I just realized as I get older and do the stream so much, because obviously streaming is relatively new, I never really thought as much about my game. You know, I learned a lot about myself as a chess player since I started streaming 2 years ago, and the one thing I never really consciously realized is how much more I like open positions than closed positions. I always thought I was kind of like, you know, multi-faceted. I like to play both, but playing blitz in particular, maybe like that's the thing. When I don't have that much time, I find tactics are a lot easier to handle than strategy, and so I feel much more comfortable playing open positions, because tactics just roll, you know, and I feel like strategy is something you have to slow down and really think about, and the strategy is necessary in the closed positions, and that's why I'm hoping for Grunfeld, not King's Indian. Gladys Troll, I know you like closed positions. You're almost like our friend Mule Skinner. A lot of people are out in the candidates tournament, but 3 rounds left. I guess today will be an exciting round. I like Rishuk's style too, but I want to see him play e4. I always thought he was more of an e4 player, but he's playing only d4. I guess that's his preparation for this tournament, you know. Like, not so long ago, he was doing stuff like playing 6 knight, what was it, knight b3 or a3, no, knight b3 against the Najdorf, that was it. Like, he just gave up, like, trying to even study openings at one point. That's why I said, like, it doesn't seem like he's even trying that hard. He's playing things like novelties against the Najdorf on move 6. I guess it's not a novelty to play knight b3, but, you know, he's just outplaying people, not even trying to get theoretical. But I like to see when he really plays e4. In deduction says, Soltigo, thanks for your help the other day. Soltigo he's awesome, man. He's helped me so much with the stream. It's been great for us here on the stream. What is up, everybody? Good morning. Mean Scribe, San Diego, CA. So now c6 from Fat President. I don't really understand the independent significance of this move, but it's a move. Okay, well, with knight on bd7, it's just like could transpose to a variation. I mean, maybe I should play bishop e3. Problem is bishop e3, I don't remember. I never really played that line. Though in this particular position, bishop e3, e5. I guess we play d5. Again, a variation I don't really remember the theory on. I played that with black, probably. Once I dropped my d6 pawn against Dmitry Gurevich. How I managed to do that. Smyslov would criticize the following move from Fat President. Played over Smyslov game the other day, where black put the queen on c7, and Smyslov was like, here the queen is in a passive position for this type of King's Indian. Don't know what, well, he's supporting e5 like in a Pirtz defense, but if you think about like long-term prospects, like it's not clear what the queen is, where the queen is going to go. It's not really a good square in the King's Indian typically. It's okay there, it supports e5, but otherwise not clear what it does. Fat President seems pretty fast. What's his bullet and stuff? 2080. Not too many bullet games. It's like a book position, but he's put the queen on c7 instead of b6. I guess we're making a waiting move here with, I don't know about rook b1. It's supporting b4, maybe expansion on the queen side. I'm just trying to do my Walter Brown imitation. Play this kind of position against Brown with black. I probably had like my queen on more likely e7 than c7. He doesn't want to meet the Berlin defense and the Rue Lepez. Well, yeah, it's a problem everybody has to deal with, I guess. Well, there's lots of ways around it, I suppose. It's an old Indian. An old Indian with the queen on c7 and, let's see, bishop on g7 instead of bishop on e7. We don't know much about Fat President as far as like where he's from. Must be a master. Take d5. Just d5. d5 immediately, he can take on c4. That seems like a problem. Should probably keep the tension somehow. I don't think I beat this guy too many times. 3. He's beat me twice. Never seen anyone play the King's Indian like this. Queen on c7 like an old Indian. Very, very unusual. Alright, I gotta do something. I'm just gonna play b4. Stays ahead of me on the clock all the time. I don't really like playing against the old Indian. It should be good, maybe if I had more time. But in blitz, it's kind of like the hedgehog, another one of these openings where the side that has more space seems like it's actually harder to play. It's easy to overextend yourself while the other guy's like shuffling his pieces on the first 2 ranks. You actually have to think of a breakthrough or a plan. The onus is on white to do something here, you know? And it's easier for the other guy to just kind of move his rooks back and forth on the first rank and like wait for you to make a mistake or something. It's just not enough time. Juicebox Wizard, what's up? What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Today is Blitz and Rapid. If you can challenge me between 5+3 and 7+3. Yesterday we had an awesome simul, some awesome bit donations. Meekjir. Even with time, it's not good if you're unfamiliar. Well, this is just not theory, you know. People don't play Queen c7 in the King's Indian. This looks like a really good move by black, by the way. E takes d4. I guess I could sack a piece. c5, knight takes b5, pawn takes b5, knight takes b5 is a really interesting piece sacrifice. Probably I should go for that. That looks like it could be overwhelming. If there's ever been a good situation for that piece sacrifice, this is probably it. He just takes here much more safe. This looks like it just equalizes at least. Very awkward for white. Very awkward for me to protect his pawn on e4. His time usage is consistent. He's not getting too long on time. He's about a minute behind, but that's plenty with the 7+3. Very creatively played by black. Maybe knight to d5. Just simply going for that. This looks like the safest continuation. I don't really have a better idea. Luckily, he doesn't have like knight a4 that's covered by the queen. But I mean, I've been impressed by this guy. You know, he seems even stronger than 2200 lichess. He's got almost, well, he's got 3 out of 7 against me overall, and about 2100 rating average. Okay, some of these are what are they, simul games or no simul games? I don't remember. He hasn't played in a simul. Okay, so it's just blitz. That's still a very, very good score against someone who's higher rated. I'm about 200 points higher. He made his unusable queen very useful. Well, I made it useful, I guess, not him. As I said earlier, it's hard to play these spatial positions in blitz. seems like he's got to be FIDE 2200, something like that, based on his play. But again, I don't know anything about him. There's no way he's under 21 FIDE. His play is just too solid, too stable, too correct. Rook E8, another very solid move. Maybe I should just support my knight. I don't know. How about... Yeah, but he's threatening knight E4 now. That's the real problem. Well, knight E4 is a huge problem. I've got to do something about that. So knight E4, threatening the fork on C3. Okay, he can trade his knight for my bishop, like trade D3, move my queen, takes on D1. But at the end of the day, my knight is strong. His bishop is strong too. It's probably a wash. So I guess it's about equal. The power of his bishop and my entrenched knight on C6 are approximately canceling each other out. I don't think that I'm really better here. Yeah, the unusual... Look, the queen is a good move too. Trade bishop D2. Bishop B2. I'm lucky I'm not like losing here. Down to 11 seconds, but he's never got a weakness. There's nothing to attack. Queen F5 is like perfect. There's like nothing to attack ever with this guy. Maybe I have a trick. I'm just lucky I have this. He could have defended with Queen F6. I don't think he's even worse there. You know, objectively, I just don't think he's even worse. I'm even overextended, basically. If you play something like F6, Queen F6, or even King H6. He's played like a perfect game until this last blunder. That's just fortunate for me. White is just a hint overextended, and now I have to like be careful. But I don't think he made any mistakes until this last time pressure blunder. The whole game. It's like virtually perfect by black. Let's see. You're not going to find any games in this opening. Queen C7. Yeah, I've never seen anyone do this. Just a few obscure games. Theoretically, I'm better, but now it transposed to some games. Dominguez. One Dominguez game. Michael White. H3 is a lame move, but I don't know what to do here. The best move according to Stockfish. Anyway, I thought it was a good game by Fat President. Fortunately, he didn't have time left, so he blundered. Positional, probably 70-year-old. No idea. You know, no idea. But he's good. You know, everything was perfect the whole game. One move blunder. All right. We're gonna take the subscribers first. World Loser, Troll on a Roll. Actually, Troll on a Roll. Yeah, we'll play World Loser first. Troll on a Roll up next. Juicebox Wizard. Thanks guys for subscribing on the stream here. Funny pictures. You keep watching your funny pictures. All right, World Loser. World Loser. If he's not here, we'll go back to Troll on a Roll. Fat President says, see, he is old. He's 35. He's not old by my standard. He's old by teenage standards. All right, man. World Loser yesterday we played. Like a Queen's Indian Nimzo. Let's play e6 on move 1. Twitmax with a 6 donation takes the lead for the week in the bit battle. This week's bit battle. He called my bluff and played e4. All right, I don't even play the French defense, so we have a bit of a problem here. Let's try it anyway. Just because I don't play it doesn't mean I can't play it. So he's 2160. You can tell, you know. I mean, you can tell when you're playing kind of like a stable, experienced player. I like, you know, he's sound. He doesn't make up, you know, crazy things over the board. You just feel it. That this is a sound player with experience. Knight f3, the exchange French. Antipov found a way to lose this against Kamsky at Aeroflot. A really brutal game if you want to play that over, by the way. It was just like, oh man. Antipov trying to make it interesting with black. He made it very interesting for Kamsky. I like Antipov. He's kind of I'm stuttering like crazy. He's kind of an interesting player. Lots of cool opening ideas and stuff. He played like a very early bishop f5. That was it. He played bishop f5 here against Kamsky, and like it's kind of a rare move for some reason. Okay, fairly fast time control. I have to play quicker because World Loser is just gonna like blow me away on the clock if I'm not careful. Bishop d6, Petrov from French. yeah. These guys are interrelated. It's opening inbreeding. Bishop g5. Well, he's starting to take my bishop on f5. So if I play f6, I slightly weaken my king side. But like, maybe I have to. We just have to live with a slight weakening of the king side, I think. Pretty standard in this type of line, actually. I don't know what he's doing. Trying to trade off my dark square bishop. That's probably not a bad plan. Everybody's trading everybody else's bishops off here. That makes sense to me. Yesterday in our team match, we lost. My team in the Hungarian team championship lost. And we're going to be not relegated, but we're going to remain in the second division. And then on the top board, the other team, their weaker guy on board 1 played the white side of the exchange French against our board 1. So that was exciting. One of these standard sort of draws. Now, sooner or later, I'm going to have to make the exchange on d3. He does have queen b5, possibly, harassing some pawns or something. I guess I can play a6 if I want to, keeping him away from there. And anyway, I want to put my pawns on white squares. Okay, it probably won't matter now if the bishops come off what color the pawns are on. Just general weaknesses are what matters here. Taking on g3, I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. It doesn't really hurt his chances in the endgame that much to have those doubled pawns. But maybe I could get control of the e4 square. He also gets a grip on g4, and like, I think he has some attacking chances with like g4, g5 if I give him that structure. So I'm not that confident about that. This is one of these shake hands and draw positions, like my team match from yesterday. But, you know, here I am playing the black side of the French exchange. I have, like, no experience in these lines. We're just playing on basic principles. Trading queens, or trying to trade queens. Could play queen f1 if he wants to. But Caruana would, you know, Caruana and Karyakin would probably win either side of this position somehow. More loser has no time used. Not no time left, no time used. Who has more weaknesses here? Now, this is a good move. I don't know if I want to take there. It actually strengthens his center. I could play knight b5, though. First we'll centralize the king. Then we'll think about maybe knight b5. He went rook d1. What is that? Rook b1, or d1. That's a weird move. Kind of a weird move. Knight b5 just makes him play rook c1. And I'm still not making any progress. He meant to play rook e1. It was a mouse slip. He said rook e1. Yeah. I thought rook d1 was a little strange. Okay, someone made the comment triumphant. If you take on e3, the pawn is backward. But I don't know. It strengthens his center a little bit. I could even play h5 possibly. Now, if I play h5, maybe he'll try to keep the pawn. I'm running out of time. I was really worried about h4 there. He's playing too fast. I can't get him to slow down, no matter how much I try. Oh no. I'm just going to lose on time. That was close. I was definitely living on the edge there. Now we're relatively stabilized the situation. Maybe I should just, yeah, this move's okay. Am I in a little bit of time pressure in this game? He's got 4 minutes all the time. I don't think our technique was too good in this ending. Wonder if I can still play for a win here. Not realistic. All right. Looks like a draw. Can play for mate in 1. I'm tired of being stressed with the threat of like constantly losing on time. I don't know if anybody was definitively winning this game. You were better, like with your king active on g4. A few moves from here. I think I like rook e3. Maybe Triumphant is right. You know, maybe I should do this. In retrospect, taking on e3, just giving him a backward pawn. I still think that white is probably not really in danger of losing this position, but in retrospect, this would have been the better way to conduct the game. What's up, guys? Camel Culture. All right, Soltigo. Later, man. Rook takes e3. So yeah, this would have been the best. If you keep in mind like World Loser's amount of time that he used, basically playing the game like a bullet game against a much higher, you know, or slightly higher rated player. c4 was a good move. And this is interesting. He came up with the king, he let my knight come to f4, and he just, with all this guts, plays king g3, and I played h5, and he hits me with h4. And that's where I have 24 seconds here. He has 4 minutes and 25 seconds. I couldn't see a clear continuation at this point. It looks like it's just equal according to the engine. I'm lucky I didn't throw it away. You know, I found this in time. I didn't like d takes c4. I guess it's not that bad. I thought my position was bad, but it's not that bad. Then for a moment in the ending, I was scared, but I guess that's not really. No. All right. Anyway, good game, World Loser. I guess it was a true draw, but even these exchange Frenches can get interesting. So next challenge, I've got Juicebox Wizard. Troll disappeared. Juicebox Wizard and an Arsenal fan are subscriber challengers. What is going on here? Okay, guys. What's up, everybody? Introduction. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for subscribing to the stream. We've had a couple new subscribers since yesterday's simul, and like we had really generous bit donations on Sunday's simul. Can't see it on the leaderboard there, but Koi TV and we had another big bit donation, so it's been crazy since the simul on Sunday. It was a good game, though, especially if you consider World Loser's insane time usage. I had to actually think, trying to find some advantage there, but I guess I was objectively a tiny bit better if I played Triumphant suggestion of exchanging rooks on e3. I feel like I'm building, I'm strengthening his center. I know he has a backward pawn, but that's why chess is hard, because there's these competing principles, conflicting principles. Acerbate. Introduction. Are you one of the players in the challenge list, or are you just watching? E3 from Juicebox Wizard. I have a student who plays this type of stuff, but normally, E3 seems kind of early. There may be some interesting ideas with that. Rockport will play Queen's Gambit accepted type of stuff, but I think you'd want to get the bishop outside the pawn chain. Maybe it's not a big deal. This is a very Grob-like idea of like G4. Looks pretty strange. Yesterday in the European Championship, there was this awful game. I guess he's on tilt or something, but that guy, Tal Baran, played a game with white against a really strong player, and he did something ridiculous, like he was playing like H3 on move 4 and got crushed. I guess we've all gone on tilt in tournament chess before. That's what it looked like to me. So bishop b5. He's stopping bishop g4 and then playing bishop to b5. It's like a very sophisticated way of controlling the e5 square. Basically not allowing me to come out and then continuing Nimzo-Indian style while slightly weakening his structure. I don't know. Probably not that bad for white. He does have the problem with the bishop on c1. I think I should do everything in my power to make sure that piece remains behind bars, basically. Okay, I'm going to go with the kingside fianchetto because I don't know what to do with this bishop on c8. And the structure, if I play like e6, e6 is looking pretty passive for black here, to be honest with you. So this seems like a more active setup where the bishop on c8 doesn't have to be deployed necessarily. We'll play it like a Catalan. Camel Culture. Oh, are you the one who had closed lichess accounts? I need to create a new account. Just watching. Are you the one who had closed lichess accounts? Yeah, he's the one. He's the only one. Alright, guys. But thanks everyone who subscribed. Camel Culture. What's up with you, man? Playing any chess lately? F3. Now, F3 looks kind of squishy for white. That starts to look suspicious. I could see H3 or F3 or G3, but F3 and H3. He's got some serious weaknesses around the king side now. I don't know. There's nothing I can do immediately, but that just doesn't look right. Kind of Soltigo-esque. Our moderator here likes to play very creatively in the opening, but this is going a little too far for white. I don't know. All this vacuous weaknesses over there. It's just basically a Catalan, like a good Catalan for me. I just like saying Catalan. It's the political moment for the Catalan. Anyway, d takes c5. You're not really going to try to keep that pawn, are you? Alright, I don't know. We're going to do like standard Catalan stuff. Basically trying to regroup our pawn on c5. Also, there's some dark square weaknesses. I mean, maybe the queen could even pop in there on h4. Now, e4. He's turning it into an e4 opening. I can't even keep track of what's going on here. d4, bishop takes c6, takes on c3 is even possible. I mean, a6 is even a move. White is really pushing the envelope here. I mean, lots of pawn moves. The king's still in the center, but I don't see anything really convincing. d4, bishop takes c6. And if I take on c3 there, he can trade queens. And I'm still going to need to like recapture on c6. And at the end of the day, the queens are off. Maybe I have some strong bishops, but I don't really want to trade queens. Queen a5 is kind of interesting. That's the typical Catalan move, right? Pretty complicated, maybe. Queen a5, what am I going to do? Well, I avoid the exchange of queens along the d file, first of all, and I'm threatening some tactics. Queen d2, that looks like a safe move, but again, he's going to trade queens on me all the time. Takes there. Yeah, the thing is, I just do not want to trade queens with you at this point. Again, we have the same types of issues. Okay, rook d8. Rook d8 makes sense. Juicebox Wizard is playing really fast and extremely unorthodox, but still he's up a pawn here. I still have something to prove. Tactics are getting confusing. Knight takes d5. Knight takes d5. Knight takes d5, queen takes b5, knight e7 check, and then I have king f8. But unfortunately, yeah, we have that move. Knight takes d5, bishop takes c6, knight takes c3. So knight takes d5, knight takes d5, queen takes b5. Knight c7. Just hope I'm not missing anything here. Hopefully this works. Huge positional comp in that line for being down even 2 pawns. Yeah, I mean, and anytime you're playing the Catalan type of position, like I'm doing a reverse Catalan type of setup here, you're always thinking about like sacrificing, you know, at least 1 pawn and maybe 2. Juicebox Wizard quickly playing bishop takes c6, but I have knight takes c3. I mean, that's the point. He didn't think too long on this move. Now he's actually in danger of getting mated with rook d1 check. Still not mate. I need queen takes c5, cutting him off first. I guess I'm just winning material now. So bishop takes b5 is a blunder. But I wouldn't have thought about this position for so long if it was that bad for white. After knight takes d5, well anyway, knight takes d5 is more interesting. Queen takes b5, and then whatever. I mean, he's not down. He's actually, yeah, he's actually down up a pawn, excuse me. But knight e7 check wasn't convincing, and knight c7 wasn't convincing. So I guess I'm just better all the time. I sure took a lot of time to figure this out, though. I had to make sure everything works. Mlochik. I know I'm mispronouncing it again. Good day, man. What's up? Dobry večer. That works in all. That works in all Slavic languages. I actually studied Russian for. I studied Russian for like 3 semesters at school, and it was a long time ago though. In the dark ages. I know you're not a Russian, but Slavic language is close enough. Dobry večer works. Yeah, so this just wins. Too many weaknesses in the white king side here. E6 was the best move. It's a standard Catalan. So apparently this queen a5 wasn't bad. It's the second best move. Apparently this move, hitting c5, that's kind of subtle. It doesn't look as aggressive as queen a5, you know? So I could have played d4 here. I must have miscalculated something. D takes c3. Queen takes c3. Queen takes c3. What, I'm winning a piece in this position? Oh. Maybe we miscalculated something when we went into this. We started analyzing this position with d4. Or maybe I didn't analyze d4 now, I just analyzed it the prior move. I was just looking at d4 here. That's the problem, and it doesn't really work as well. After queen a5, queen d2, I don't think I actually took the time to look at d4 now. The point is that he has, I didn't see this line, knight takes d4, knight takes d4, queen takes d4, knight takes e4, which is like not even the best move apparently. I don't know, I wouldn't have found this. I'm supposed to play knight h5, that's, or knight d5 maybe. Knight d5 is a move I might find. Even there, queen a4, bishop takes c3 check. It's complicated. Okay guys, let's play Arsenal Fan. Arsenal Fan, hey Koi TV, what's up man? Koi TV with the insane cheers yesterday, man. Thank you so much. You're not on the cheer board, but you deserve to be forever on the all-time cheer leaderboard. He went crazy with the cheers yesterday, supporting the stream big time. Arsenal Fan, sorry to delay the start here. Let's play something serious. Yesterday I played the Budapest Gambit. We had a really interesting game in that, but I don't want to do that again today. Let's play something different, something more serious against Arsenal Fan. Playing d4 2 games in a row. What time is it in your country? Dobry večer means good evening. Arsenal Fan, I don't think Arsenal is specializing in Slavic languages, you know. He's in the UK, so it's an hour earlier. Dobry din is what he's trying to say. The Bogo Indian. No Budapest Gambit today. He's an hour ahead of us, or hour earlier, GMT. Mikajir says d4 was easy to calculate. Yeah, I don't know why I stopped thinking about it on that move for some reason. Yeah, knight d2 is I think the best move for white objectively. It's kind of like playing knight d7 in the bishop b5 check Sicilian. It's like the most aggressive move. I like to explain this to people because you're not giving up your structure. You're not playing bishop d2, allowing exchanges of pieces. Here there are a couple different systems I've played. I mean, d5 is a little more combative. Now the queen a4 check. I've had some games with Tom Bartel, actually. We had a game. Spinal Tap Chess here on lichess, who's been on my stream quite a bit. International master. Long ago. No, 10 in the daytime. We had a game with queen a4 check. I had another game with Prohaska, who's a Hungarian grandmaster. e3, though, is a safe move for white. Very solid. I honestly don't really have a good score with both colors in this position. Now, it would be interesting to play maybe bishop d6. To let him play c5 with tempo, though, seems kind of wrong. That might even be a move. My score with white is like 0-2. I think I lost to Michael Rode and Zlatko Olincic with white in this type of line. And with black, I've also probably lost. So the knight d2 BOGO has remained elusive to me. I think this is probably theory, this much, but I don't know it well enough. Another closed position in blitz, which I really don't like playing. I love when tactics flow and the position is open, if I don't have that much time. Do you want to work on that stream layout and perhaps build a donation goal bar? Koi TV, man, great idea. I really appreciate you you offering to help. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I really love to do that. Yes, I will get back to you on that. Thanks for the idea. Knight b3 now, very strange location for the knight on b3. He's clamping down on c5, but the knight itself is not well placed on b3. So this is something that I want to play against. But he did stop my break. You know, I wanted to play maybe a5, maybe c5. So what do we have in exchange for him misplacing his knight there? I guess I can take on c4, just letting him develop, man. That seems kind of weird. If I take on c4, then play knight on bd7, and I can try to play for c5 anyways. It doesn't look so easy to exploit this. Try to play a5 anyways, as they say, a5 anyways. Maybe I have to do something crazy like that. This move feels very anti-positional, but he's pushing me to the brink of doing something I don't want to do with knight b3. I feel like I'm restricted and I can't break out here. If a5, b5, I can play some c6 perhaps, or a4, grabbing space. I don't know, I don't trust this position for black. This is very unorthodox, playing on his side of the board, if you will. But I might be able to gain time on the knight on b3, get a little bit of space. If he plays b5, hopefully I can break down his pawn structure. Yeah, Koi TV, I'd love to improve the layout here. You know, I didn't even think about the fact that Arsenal fan is he's simply protecting his rook on a1, you know. Sort of threatening to smother me permanently in this position. Ooh, I need more time. You know, I could play knight e4 at some point. It doesn't do anything in and of itself, though. Maybe I should play a4. All right. Forget it. Forget it. I'm just going to do this a4. Maybe I should be happy just like closing the queen side, because objectively that's like his stronger side. Thing is, it's not completely closed. He's got to go back, and now there's no bishop a6 yet. We do have some interesting ideas though. The Smyslovian control of the white squares. Smyslov did play the BOGO, and sometimes he would establish control of like the light square diagonal. I mentioned Smyslov earlier. I was looking at one of his games the other day. Now 95. This is our main idea here. Not only bishop d7, bishop b5, but bishop a6. Getting rid of the bringer of doom. That white squared bishop is his best, you know, his best minor piece, theoretically. I don't like hunkering down on my back ranks normally, and I also don't like playing the Queen's Gambit type of pawn structure with f7, e65 usually. So I don't feel super comfortable. This is the second uncomfortable game I had this stream. Earlier I had a French defense for black, which I don't normally play, and it was exchange variation. I have very little experience there. Now, okay, I didn't expect this move. You know, knight b3, knight d3, so he's just, you know, avoiding the exchange of white square bishops, but I think it's kind of awkward for white. In principle, the idea of not trading is correct for him, but at the same time, okay, first of all, it seems slow to play bishop b5, but I'm running out of time. If I play knight c6 here, yeah, that's more dynamic. He doesn't have queen takes a4. I mean, I guess I could even take on c5 if I had to. And he's doubling up on the e5 square. It's okay, man. Just leave your king in the center forever. It's no problem. I like how creative Arsenal fan is. He's not bogged down by what do you say, tabia, standard ideas. Just take the knight and b5. Well, I mean, closing it up like that was an idea. Queen c2 is a good move. But I can't just close it that easily. Queen c2 is an excellent move for white. Man, dude, he's playing like a genius. Maybe I have to take on c5 at some point. I mean, I guess bishop c4. Alright, bishop c4 is the simplest right now. What about my knight on e4, though? Is it going to get trapped? Well, it can always come back to f6 if I have to. This is just getting too weird. Okay, I can mess with him with bishop e3, though. I didn't even think about that. Putting my bishop on b3 is just really strange. Right now, I'm just trying to kind of block the queen side. Objectively, I'm not sure it's even the right idea, though. It's amazing how patient he's been here. All right, that's it. I'm just done with the queen side. I don't want to deal with it anymore. We're down to 3 minutes to 52 seconds. Man, he's so sound. Maybe we could sacrifice a piece on b4 to create a passed a pawn or something. So f5, it's like a stonewall now. The ultimate stonewall. Ridiculous amount of time for this type of position. You know how often I play the Stonewall Dutch, guys. Like every day of the week. Knight f6, no. But it looks like I have to play this to keep him off of e4. What a game. He's got a massive amount of time. 2 minutes and 42 seconds. It's literally a stonewall. Which is actually usual for this variation. My game with Paschall, not that different. Maybe I could bring the rook across laterally along the 7th rank. There's so much for that idea. I mean, it's still around. The idea is still, it's still popping. Well, yeah, I don't really want to take under those circumstances. Somebody dial Budvinik, and tell him I'm playing the stonewall defense and I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm obligated to start attacking. Can't take on f4. Got lateral coordination from the aft side of the raft. But still, I mean, White's position looks okay. So he has a bad bishop, but he has a fair amount of space for his part. E4, what? Whoa. Okay, it looks like he's going berserk. I mean, okay, you might have some play, but that's really extreme. Too extreme to be correct for White. Interesting, but maybe not. Maybe it's not incorrect. I'm about to lose on time. Stay away from my king, okay? Self-preservation is my my greatest instinct. It's possible there was something better, but I have 12 seconds left and I'm just satisfied to hold. Guarantee I'm not going to lose here. Perhaps there was something better. I don't know, though. I mean, that bishop on b2, it doesn't look good, but in one moment the diagonal could open. The computer maybe would play like bishop takes h2, you know? He suspiciously put all of his pawns on dark squares. G3 was a really bad move. I don't know if it's enough to lose the game, but it's definitely not what you normally want to do here. Is my bishop just paralyzed there? Not permanently. I couldn't calculate that other line. Looks like he's losing now. Maybe, yeah. I just take and then get away. But it's just, you got to play h3 and g4. It was a rated game. Oh my god. Arsenal fan. Rated. Okay, man, another epic battle with Arsenal fan. That's a huge battle yesterday. It's just a draw if you just put your pawns on white squares. Just g4. Well, no, h3. Yeah, g4 loses as well. Probably. But h3. Computer's claiming I have an advantage here. I don't know. I kind of doubt that. I mean, I could put my bishop on f4, but I don't think I can win, you know. Apparently I was winning earlier with something I missed. Bishop takes h2 check. He had me in such time pressure with 11 seconds that I stopped calculating. There was a one-move win. But other than that, it was a really good game. Thanks for the battle, man. Good play, though, for someone who doesn't know a lot of theory in the opening. You played that game, you know, like a positional maestro. He was better out of the opening, you can see. This position after, let's say, like move, let's see, where are we here? White is slightly better. He has more space, I guess, despite the fact that I'm trading my white square bishops. Trading the white square bishops. Stockfish argues that white is slightly better here. I don't know where we left book, I guess. You played... Oh, knight b3. Stockfish unforgiving of knight b3. I thought at first it was really weird, but then I realized how strange it is, and it creates, like, you know, kind of unusual problems for black. And I reacted correctly. I'm happy for this, because if I just settle in and do some sort of normal move, I think that I'm going to get smushed. This a5 was really, I don't know, you know, going against the grain, kind of playing on white's strong side of the board. So I'm happy I found that. Okay, we've got challenges, guys. I'm going to take the subscribers first. Only Stupid Names left is a subscriber. If anybody else is a subscriber, and I know GG Helis, you guys, everyone else has played pretty much. But if you're a new subscriber to the stream or something, let me know. I'm not sure that Soltigo is still here, so we don't have a moderator. You got to tell me directly if you wanna inform me. We've got about an hour left in the stream, guys, so plenty of time for some more games. Yesterday I played d4 in my tournament game. Limited information on my opponent, and I wanted him to play the Benoni, but he played the Semi-Slav, and it was like the stupid Moscow variation, which I don't have very good prep for, unfortunately. Stupid Names now playing the Slav. We could have that, in fact. Only Stupid Names left yesterday. I forgot. You played in the Simo as well. Did you play the Semi-Slav? This was my tournament game yesterday. 2 endings in a row, not a coincidence. Arsenal fan, you're playing well. A little too fast, maybe, but not really too bad. Nothing extreme like World Loser, where you have like 5 times as much time as me. You took your time. You had like a minute more. Yeah, like you're playing better, I think. Only Stupid Names left. Yeah, yesterday was a funny thing. My opponent played c6 against me, which is like really, I think, an aggressive system, and I looked at him. You know, I gave him like the knowing look of like, do you really want to do that? And he felt it. But then after bishop g5, he played h6, so I understood, like, h6 is like a safe move, but d takes c4, it's a really, really insane, you know, complicated and tactical variation. The Botvinnik system is crazy, so if you play this with black, you better know what you're doing. The main line is e5, which I have played. You know, I have some experience, but the theory is massive. So I play the sideline with a4, usually, but I don't want to be too predictable. So I should really play a different line here. This is Nefedov's variation. It's extremely rare. Nefedov's variation. Nefedov is not here. He's at work. No, he's online. One of our most regular opponents. Nefedov played this against me as well. And then I wasn't sure if I remembered the theory, and then I found queen c1. Bishop a6, queen c1, and it turns out that it was all in my subconscious somewhere. You know, I was like, oh, is queen c1 the right move? But it had been in my brain, you know. He's threatening knight takes e4 now. So stupid names left. He's not high rated, but he's posing me some problems here. Now, this particular order of moves I haven't faced. And if I've played bishop a6, now we have to decide whether I take on f6, play knight d2, or some weird move like that. Knight d2 seems to allow c3, and I don't like the look of that. But there is the proverbial e5. I mean, e5, knight d5, bishop takes e7, queen takes e7, bishop takes c4. Okay, it's a little better for white. The other possibility, though, bishop takes f6, giving up my bishop. Bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, bishop takes c4. I'm not sure about that either. Which do I like better? That's the problem, like deciding between these two. Is there like a third option? Maybe something like queen c2. Like a secret move of some kind. Queen c2, so it's even like weird. b3, that would be extremely complicated. I mean, e5, knight d5, bishop takes e7. You could even take with a knight on e7. But I feel like my center is slightly overextended here. I'm getting my pawn back, but I'm not that convinced as to the authenticity of white's advantage. I mean, it should be better for white a little bit, but I'm not convinced about how much this is better for white. Quickly playing a5. Certainly never a position I've played before. Standard idea, you know, trading off his bad bishop on a6. He doesn't execute. Well, I can't prevent bishop a6. And I really need the castle and get developed. Although I could slow down c5 maybe. I don't think I can stop it altogether. In the meantime, I risk like leaving my king in the center. So this is an interesting line. Never been here before. It's not like super dangerous for me or anything, but it looks like black might be okay. He's got a strong knight on d5. Now, some ideas, maybe some ideas of attacking with the h7 pawn, but it's really kind of a fantasy. I think that mostly I'm just looking for the c file here, and I don't want to move my a rook, because the a rook might be necessary in terms of defending the a4 pawn. GM Feld has given me some ugly losses. GM Feld, I haven't played GM Feld lately. I played GU Feld, but not GM Feld. GU Feld. Uh-oh. Okay, so only stupid names left. Getting his stuff mobilizado. Man. Got an itsy bitsy development lead, a pawn on e5, but his knight is so strong. Okay. That's complicated too. He just takes on d4. Wow. What if I take on d5 and try to change the situation? Still, it's not so easy. In the meantime, he's threatening rook c8 possibly. Bishop takes queen f5. Man. This is like a professional playing black here. I just don't think I have enough to claim an advantage. Now after I take on d5, it's amazingly difficult to do anything. Maybe knight b3. Man, there's just so many complications here. Alright, this is going to be kind of weird, but I feel like it's more complicated than the other position. I could even sacrifice a pawn. This is a really risky undertaking to keep the game complicated. I'm turning his a5 pawn. I feel like the d3 pawn, you know, I can control, but man, he's got 5 minutes remaining to my 2. Push d5 and promote pawn. Push d4 and promote pawn. I just thought this way, at least, I keep it a little bit like kind of complicated. No idea what's going on here. Huh. He's playing so fast. Okay, a5 is hanging, but I don't know. I need to worry about other things. Wow. I can't give him my e5 pawn. There's just no way. I remember the last game we had. It was the Simul game? Oh, that was yesterday. Wow. So he played that game. Okay, I said he played like a master yesterday too. Seriously. He played this last game yesterday like a master. The other games, not as strong. He's played some good games. But I was particularly impressed by the game yesterday in the white side of an English. Now I can take on a5. Take on e5 and I have knight c6. But it remains complicated. What am I doing there objectively? No, I go back to b3. I don't know, take on a5, rook c8 is apparently very strong for him. So maybe I can't do that. That's an extremely deep move to foresee. Sacrificing your a5 pawn to play for like knight, for rook c2 and stuff like that. Wow. Maybe knight d4 here, but then I have to deal with other stuff. Man, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna lose on time, I guess. 1578. He's 1700 in classical, 1400 in blitz, 1500 in rapid. It's a pretty new account. He is a subscriber here on the stream, but yesterday's game was really masterful. It was only a draw, but I thought he was better and played very professionally. Now I'm terrified. He's playing the black side of a super sharp Botvinnik here with the initiative. Maybe a tactical mistake. I thought rook c8 was very strong to cut out this move. Yeah, okay, this looks like a clear mistake. I didn't even think about like taking the pawn on b4. But I thought the point was to play rook c8 there, last move. But maybe black is just better. It was a very, very risky undertaking what I did in this game. Letting him have this pawn on d3 and stuff. Okay, got no time. No time to worry about complications. Okay, if queen a5 b3, here I'm just taking this pawn. He's going to have some counterplay, but I don't have any other choice, basically. I'm lucky I'm not worse. He's like an extremely strong 1500. Giving him a pawn back with rook takes e5. That ending, I have the outside pawn, I should be better. Knight takes e5, f4 wins a piece, I guess. Even that I'm not that sure about, but okay, I'm comfortable with that. I'm worried about other stuff. I guess rook takes e5. You could have some sort of in-between move here. I don't know, rook b4. What else? If rook b4, I play knight f3. Okay, now taking in rook e1 doesn't do anything. We want to go with the passed pawn. Maybe I'm winning, but if I'm winning, it's like by a tiny margin. Rook b8, a6, rook a8, a7, knight d7, or knight c4, knight c4, rook b1, knight d7, knight c6, and I'll be threatening something like rook b1, rook b8. Uh-oh. So he's going to blockade with a knight here. If I do it that way, that is some move. Just your everyday 1500. I don't have I have the back rank problem. I can't do anything active as long as I'm going to get back rank mated. Am I winning here? Looks like we could be winning. But he probably had, well, he has to deal with the back rank but mate threat too, so maybe he was lost all the way. I don't know, he can't stop rook c1, rook c1, rook c8. Okay, so now it's just a tactical win. Fast too. Damn, dude, that was if you're 1500, I mean you're gonna be gaining a lot of rating points soon. You're like 400 points underrated at least. So b4, this is a very rare move, and as far as I know, I thought this was new, but apparently not. It was played by Pinter. So this is not new. Just new to me. Bishop e7. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I looked at queen c2. I didn't like b3. This has never been played before. Other ideas not really existing here. So we play e5. Tukmakov versus Pinter, 1985. They're all Hungarian games. Kalai, Lukács, and Lukács versus Rajcevic. I know all these guys. Pinter. I actually worked with Pinter for a time. Kalai, we played in the team championship. Lukács. I never actually played Lukács. He's a huge theoretician. But apparently this is booked, so knight d5, takes, bishop takes c4. He played a5, which Pinter played. The computer is claiming a small advantage for white here, but it's not that clear to me. Castles is the main move. Nothing wrong with a5. Castles, castles, castles. You could be in better, you know, worse, only stupid names left following Yoji's games. Bishop a6. Tukmakov versus Pinter. And now, Tukmakov and Lukács both played rook c1, but I think it's strange to play rook c1 because you're going to have problems with this pawn on a4. Maybe they're just going to keep the queen on this diagonal and use the queen. Maybe they know a little bit more than me. It's very possible. Lukács is an opening expert, and Tukmakov is just a great player. What's up? Somebody sent me a message on lichess. Okay, I'll get back to that later. So bishop takes a6. I played what? Queen c2 here. And c5 is best move according to Stockfish. So my move allows c5. That looks like it's a clear mistake. I have to play rook c1, those other guys. I was concerned about keeping the a4 pawn protected, but the rook is of course dead on a1. Alright guys, good game. We're out of subscribers here, so I'll just start taking some random challenges. Yeah, I like c1 that prevents c5. I didn't realize he could play c5. I thought, oh, I'm putting my queen on the diagonal. There'll be something. I mean, I guess I could take on c5 after queen c2, but, you know, he might even be able to play knight d7 or something like that. I was looking at this. Queen takes c5, knight g5. That's... if I had more time, I would have analyzed this. This might actually be something for white. We'll have to look at that for the future. Wubba Dubba Lub Lub was also in the Simul last night. I'm going to play a few of these games. Rook c1 almost +1. Yeah, that's those exact games. The Pinter black and Lukács with white. e4. Wubba Dubba Lub Lub. What are we going to do? I'm going to play e5. I usually play Sicilian, sometimes Caro-Kann, Alekhine's Defense Modern, but I want to play more e4, e5 with black. I lost a bad game yesterday in a Lopez against Move 11, one of our regulars here for the Simuls. But bishop c4, that's cool. It's something different. So, man, I don't know the Evans Gambit too well, I've got to admit. If you guys play the Evans against me, I'm pretty clueless. Normally, I play knight f6 here, but I ought to branch out and learn how to play bishop c5. I mean, I know some things. You know, I've been around chess for 30 years, but I just never played. I never played any tournament games with black in the Gioco Piano. Maybe like one with the white pieces, and this is Gioco Pianissimo. Okay, knight c3 now transfers to, what would you call it, like a 4 knights, some kind of 3 knights game, I guess. I don't know. Normally this wouldn't happen by standard orders of moves. Nobody beats you 12 times in a row. You have a half to 1 to 11.5. But yesterday was a really good game. You were better after that opening. I mean, that's like a classic closed English, the game from yesterday. I don't play the black side of the Botvinnik variation, so I probably made, one or two really, like, significant inaccuracies for you to get that bind in the position yesterday. I honestly need to look at that, because when I faced Bogdan Dan a couple weeks ago, we're friends, it was kind of a quick draw, but he played a3 against me on move 5, and it's odd that a variation I've played myself with white, I don't really have a good answer against that. And a5, in our simul game with Gigi Helis last night, otherwise known as the last guy we just played. It's what am I trying to play? Bishop e6 here. What am I supposed to play here? a6 maybe, although objectively knight a4 doesn't scare me. Bishop e6 is a good move. Yeah, so anyway, the variation from yesterday's game where you did draw 1 in 12 games, you were better, and I gotta find something against the a3. I've got a book here somewhere that deals with that. It's a little out of date though. Fried liver, yeah, I usually play knight f6, but I want to be able to play both bishop c5 and knight f6. I think objectively you should know both bishop c5 and knight f6. They're both kind of like primary openings, very important theoretical openings. One of the most principal openings you can play along with the Queen's Gambit Decline and Petrov. I do play the Petrov from time to time. I feel I know that better than knight c6. We had a kind of unpleasant draw yesterday in a Petrov line. That's another problem. Bishop b3 is a good move. Now, I mean, I guess it's time to castle here. I suppose you can play h6. That's the kind of move that is weakening the king side a little bit, but it's probably playable here. If h6, yeah. Preventing bishop g5. I don't know, we'll probably find some really old games in the chess database, but I'm not really knowledgeable about this. Classical openings are not really my bag. I typically am very hyper modern, and I like to play the English opening, a lot of knight f3 stuff with white, a lot of Sicilian, Alechine's defense, Pyrrhic defense, modern defense, everything very like Larson style, very hyper modern. Although I play classical d4 with white, with black I'm hyper modern, King's Indian as well. Okay, so knight h4, this is a provocative move. It's like he's trying to look for knight f5. My first inclination was that's interesting. I have knight takes e4. But it's complicated. The answer is it's complicated. I mean, knight takes e4, bishop takes e6. Queen takes h4. Bishop takes f7 check. King takes... that's like the tip of the iceberg here. What if I take on b3 first, and then play knight takes e4? That's still complicated. Bishop takes b3, which is anti-positional. A takes b3. Knight takes e4. And now I have to deal with knight f5. But maybe not, because we can take on c3. So we trade bishops on b3, then we play knight takes e4. Then he's got this crazy intermezzo, queen g4. I mean, I kind of hate playing bishop takes b3 on principle. You know what? When I first analyzed this position, my gut reaction was that, like, just knight d4. But I'm not thrilled about that. It's playable, it's solid. I'd rather win a pawn if I can. Knight takes e4, queen g4, knight takes c3. And we're up a pawn for a small price. Okay, knight f5 doesn't seem to work. Queen g4 is unclear. He's still down a pawn there. I hope. I do have knight g5 on queen g4. Though he might have an initiative in that position. The thing I started to panic about was like queen g4, knight takes c3, queen takes g7, Knight e2 check, king h1. And now how do I deal with it? Rook f8, bishop takes h6 type of stuff, you know. It's getting a little bit strange. I mean, my king's going to have to go for a walk. Maybe I can play d5 to defend my rook on f8. I'm scared, basically. Knight takes f7, I mean f2. There is also possibly knight f6. That doesn't look convincing, though. He just takes on g7, rook g8, queen h6, and I don't have anything. So queen g4. Well, there's even g5. I mean, that doesn't look good, though. Knight takes c3. Wow, where did you ever find that move? Knight takes g3. Queen takes g7. What if I can't play king d7. I don't know. We're going to take things and ask questions later. Of course, he could just take back on c3 and play it as a pawn sacrifice. I mean, that's like the most sane continuation here. I'm even looking at knight e2 check. Queen takes g7, knight e2 check, king h1. Queen takes h4, queen takes h8 check, king e7, queen takes a8, bishop takes f2, with some small threats for black. Let's see. Queen takes g7, knight e2 check, king h1. Queen takes h4, queen takes h8 check, king e7. Queen takes... He just took back. This is much less complicated. I mean, I'm up a pawn here. Possibly I should consider castling queenside, but there's this d4 opening the center. I can play bishop b6. I really want to castle queenside. I could certainly play queen d7, queen takes g7, castles queenside with the proximate material equality. Or maybe, yeah, I'm thinking of illegal moves now. Sacrificing that pawn. I don't really like, castling kingside, and I don't like leaving my king in the center while he's threatening to play d4. So I'm gonna just give him a pawn back and try to be practical here with we'll have strong threats against his king along the g file. Anyway, guys, welcome. Lots of interesting games today. Bishops in Russian, the bishops are elephants. Now, my understanding was that came from the original interpretation of the game. That the bishops were pachyderms comes from the original interpretation of chess, right? Or one of them. Vizier. Well, in Hungarian they call it vezér. Queen f6, king f8. Yeah, but I don't want my king. Yeah, okay. Queen f6 is playable, but that's where I didn't like d4. I know I could do it. Maybe you're right. Maybe we can play queen f8, queen f6, d4, pawn takes pawn, rook e1 check, king f8. But the time is ticking, and I'm trying to castle I'm castling chess 960 style. Very strong threats of rook g8 here. He has b4, b5, and d4. I guess this is... Wow. Surprisingly, no tactics for me here. We have a cute trick, though. This doesn't even work. Man. Amazingly, he's like defending everything here. It looks like it should be good for me, but I'm like down a pawn now. I mean, bishop takes h6 looks outright insane. But everything's based on him doing this queen f6 move. Now queen e6 I was counting on. That doesn't work as well. Queen e6. Man, this is crazy. He's got a defense for everything. What? Now rook h5? That's not working either. Queen g4. Knight f3. Queen g4, knight f3, rook h5. So I was looking at rook h5. I don't see anything better than this now. And these all sorts of intermezzos and stuff. I get 2 pieces for a few pawns. Guess he went crazy now. Are you kidding me? All right. I don't know. What a game. Now, 2 things are hanging simultaneously. For his rating, I mean, Wobadub Love did a really good job keeping me totally at bay until this last mistake with little time left. Yeah, I mean, this is over now. As long as I don't drop my rook. Let's not be greedy, but we'll be greedy. No sense in rook g4. Okay, we gotta massage the white pawns a little bit here. All right, man. That was a crazy position. I think it was possibly like okay for black until the last tactical mistake. I don't know. Let me get my mouse out of the microphone's range here because I think that clicking is pretty annoying to you guys. Yeah, apparently, wow. So, well, where we left book. Oh, sorry. New opening for me. I don't normally play this. Larson versus Smyslov. But I mean, bishop e3 is an extremely normal move here. In fact, probably like the most normal move. Colombian Masters. Gamboa against Perdomo. Know those guys? Bishop b3. my fellow Americans. Carlos Perdomo. Been a long time since I saw him. H6 is a new move in this position where only one game was played, apparently. So knight h4, very complicated. Here I'm supposed to play bishop g4. Wow. See, that's what you get when you don't play a position that often. You don't see moves like this, sneaky bishop g4. Didn't occur to me. And then queen e1, and now here. So the tempting knight h4 is not a good move for white. But I did not find the right refutation here. So there was also this move, which I didn't have time to mention. That was my first thought. Actually, maybe I did mention this. I didn't think it was a big deal. But this is another way of playing like a long-term pawn sacrifice. He has a strong knight on f5. Very complicated. Okay, so queen g4, I thought this was insanely interesting. Knight takes c3, and then there you can even play queen takes g7. I was seriously looking at this. Knight e2, check, king h1, and taking on h4. But I guess it's just too wild to do that. I saw this, but I didn't like queen g4 check, or didn't understand what I'm doing there. That to me looks like a repetition. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's a repetition of position. So if I play rook f8, I was scared of bishop takes h6. I saw this much, but I didn't really know what was going on. Bishop takes h6, d5. That's as far as I saw, and it was very complicated. According to the engine, white is better. I mean, black is better, but you know, who knows in the heat of battle. So you just decided to play like safely with the other move. B takes c3, and then someone suggested, who was it? Which one of you guys suggested queen f6? This is playable. I was scared of like d4 and check, but maybe it's nothing. Maybe I can play knight e7 even. No, knight e7 is no good. I have to play king f8. This was a suggestion. Maybe d4 is not good then. White just has to play like b4. Have some compensation. The other one is what I played, queen d7. This apparently is a mistake. It looked very natural to me. Queen takes g7, castles. This is insanely dangerous for white, though. He should play another move. b4. b4, bishop e6, and it's a game. You trade off my bishop, that's a strong move. Not clear I have enough compensation here. This looks problematic. And I'm getting in deep trouble on the a file. I'll have to let you take and take back with the c pawn so as not to get mated on the queen side. And basically I'm down a pawn on the other side without enough compensation, so really not a bad game by white. Alright, this is out. 2-0, lightning. Come. How many games do you have? Yeah, alright. We'll play in 5-0. No rated games, please. Gigi Helis. Who was it that said the queen f6 idea? I didn't credit them properly. Got 4 messages. Alright. Well, we've got 25 minutes left in the stream, guys, so 2 more games. This one and one more. That's chess testosterone. Chess testosterone. Chess testosterone. Sounds better. It definitely sounds better than chess testosterone. Chess testosterone. Chess testosterone? Anyway, another Slav defense. Oh man. Yeah, queen f6 would have been, I guess, safer than sacrificing my... I'm just too much of a macho guy. Too much testosterone. Playing queen d7 and just sacrificing my pawn. The Slav. We'll play a Geller Gambit, I guess. Okay, we played come on. I call him come on, but he's come. The Geller Gambit with queen c2. This is one of my secret weapons that I don't know very well. I just play it because it's fun, but I never really bothered to study this too deeply. We had a game yesterday in the simul with e6, bishop e2, bishop e7, bishop g5, castle, I think. Happy India. Or was it a different player? No, it was a different player. Somebody from India, but not Happy India. One of the Indian players on my stream played, been there a couple times, played the black side of this yesterday, and I was making allusions to a game from the Russian Championship that I liked a lot. Dubov versus... But a6 was in. Okay, so it wasn't this position. It was an a6 Slav on move 4. He played a6, and that's where Dubov played queen c2. And then it transfers to a Geller gambit, but a6 is in, so that makes it maybe a little more... It's a little more justifiable for white. You know, this... Maybe a6 is a useful move anyway for black, so... Normally the Geller gambit is played not with queen c2, but with e5. But those lines are, like, played out, you know, like, the theory has been analyzed so deeply in the main line of the Geller gambit that it's, like, 30 moves long in a couple of variations. I don't think that's going to surprise anybody. But here I don't know, objectively. I've experimented with stuff like rook to d1, but it ultimately doesn't really seem... It doesn't seem really like the right place to go with that rook. It's nice to have the rook on d1, but it deserves to be somewhere else. b3 is the pawn break I'd like to make, but it just constantly walks into b4, knight a4, c3 with a protected passed pawn. So that's an issue. Don't really know what else to do here. The other move is queen b6. Now this is going to be similar to my game from yesterday, but I feel like at least this way I have a clue what I'm doing. We just try to get a knight on d6 as fast as possible, and look at this, knight takes e7. Now b4, b3, I mean, we have time for b3. I can also play knight e4 though. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. If he has to play knight f5 or knight c8, then that's probably not a bad thing. You know, objectively, maybe he's better off taking with the queen on e7. But the game I had last night in my simul, we had a really good simul yesterday. Similar to this, very similar, just he took with the queen on e7. a6 was played. You bought a book on the Sveshnikov by Katronius. I like Arsenal fan, you're spelling a Greek name like a Lithuanian one. But it's cool. You know, I'm a specialist in name spelling. He passed away. What? Sveshnikov passed away? I didn't hear about that. Are you serious? I guess I haven't been reading my chess news. We'll have to look it up. Can somebody confirm? I would have thought I would have seen it, but it's possible I missed the obituary. I played Sveshnikov in New York in like 1994, I think. He killed me in a C3 Sicilian. He did to hundreds of other people. Just another one of the victims. Castles. Now I could go launching a kingside attack with like knight to g5 here. That wasn't really the program. The program was supposed to be stick the knight on d6. But it's very tempting to play knight g5. Although, the more I look at it, like knight g6 looks like a good defense. So I think we just need to break his queenside. Wiki says he's still alive. Well, if Wiki says it, well, I mean, he could have very recently died, and Wiki may have not been up on it. But I didn't hear about Sveshnikov passing away. That's also not definitive. Not at all definitive. I mean, I get like Alexander Baburin's like week in chess, or not week in chess. But anyway, the Alexander Baburin newsletter. I didn't, you know, I would think that would be like a kind of If Sveshnikov died, it would be like a, the title of the news or something in Baburin. Queen b6 here. Now we have very strong knight g5 ideas. But I don't have to do it right away. I can also just seal him off with knight to c5. There's rook c1. You know Alex Baburin, Samarkandi. Yeah, he's a nice guy. I worked with him on chess broadcasting on another chess site. He's always spoken highly of everybody that I know who knows Baburin is like crazy about him. Just a really, really well-liked person. Usually that's not a coincidence. When everybody likes someone, it's generally a good sign. I'm playing knight c5. I mean, he's threatening knight takes d4, so we take with the pawn, and then we maybe can try to kill his bishop on b7. Uh-oh. Well, we're good here. I've got bishop d3. That was my plan anyway. And then, I mean, g4 is an afterthought. I don't even want to do that anymore. Now we go for the dark squares. Knight takes d4, unfortunately, is a problem. Queen d2, knight takes d4. I can't do it right away. Ought to be a better way to do this. Bishop takes f5 right away. I don't know. It's not that convincing. Maybe, I mean, queen d2, knight takes d4. It feels like I should have something there. Knight takes d4. Knight takes c5. There's really nothing. I think I should just batten down the hatches here. And he's got a5 to break out. And that's super annoying. Not that simple though. His rook is not protected on a8. If a5, maybe queen d2 then. And I could start a kingside attack. Yeah, he's trying it. It gives me time to play this and then start the kingside attack very quickly. Double threat. Now bishop takes. Looks legitimately strong. Making like gingy noises. This should be winning for white. I even have like double rook clearance, like these guys coming over here. Possibly. Guys, time for one last game before the stream ends. Zen Chess. What's up, man? Thanks for subscribing, everybody. Even if you didn't subscribe, thanks for just hanging out with me here. You don't have to subscribe. I don't feel like you guys owe me that as an obligation. Just I appreciate those who do. We had awesome support for the stream lately. Knight. Uh-oh. He's getting away. Where's the mate? E6? Oh, E6. That's gotta be good. Famous last words. Queen h4? Still not working. Like, I don't see how to win. I don't think I'm even winning. He's like gonna flag me. Just defended everything. Who is this guy? He just defended everything. Man. He's got all kinds of secret moves. He missed knight d5 there. Still like uber complicated. Pretty strong blitz player. And fast. I kind of underestimated him. I had such a overwhelming advantage. Started to take it a little bit lightly. It's insanely fast, dude. 1700 in bullet. I don't see how to win this. How do I win with this king on h6? I think it's just a draw at this point. His two pawns are too strong on the queen side. It's just a draw. I have to be realistic. If I try to win here, I'm gonna lose. Wow, dude. What a defense he staged. I'm actually lucky not to lose. I think he was winning with knight d5 before. That's pretty impressive. Okay, last game against Testosterone. I don't really have time, but I'm going to play it. Man, I got to take the games in the order I got them. Unless he's not here. Testosterone. Chess drone. Wow, nice D there. Zen Chess subscribed. Awesome. Thanks for resubscribing. That was weird, Zen Chess. I thought you were already subscribed. I guess you're resubscribing early. Alright. I gotta go, guys. I don't have time for this game, but I'm gonna play it anyway. I should... Zen Chess. Alright, man. I might have to play Zen Chess because he just subscribed. I don't really have time, but I'll do it anyway. It would be better if it was 5+3 though, Zen Chess. If you could make it 5+3, I would be better suited to play just a 5-3. D3 here, I like to play, well, let's see, E6. Okay, it's a King's Indian attack. I like oftentimes will play E6 and then even E5 later on, depending on what white does. I don't see this too often. But it's, you know, it's a standard King's Indian attack line. Yeah, I've been subscribed. It's just this thing that Twitch does. Yeah, I don't understand. It just announced it like you just subscribed now. That was like my assumption is that that would be the case. But anyway, yeah, I'll stay for another 5-3 game, but that's really it, guys. I've got to go. I normally stop at 12:30. Luckily today, I don't have like an immediate appointment right after the stream. So So, anyways, thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for the support. We've got PayPal donations sometimes, people subscribing. Yesterday we had Bit donations, which was awesome. Yesterday was a bad day for me until the stream. My team got eliminated from their chance to make it to the first division in the Hungarian Team Championship, so I was kind of bummed, but it was better. Is there a difference between Fritz and Deep Fritz? I don't know. ChessBase has all kinds of marketing going on. A4 here. It's kind of like a cross between the King's Indian attack and the closed Sicilian. I guess closed Sicilian is technically only with knight c3, right? Put our rook on b8. You can't really go wrong with rook b8. Anytime there's a bishop on g2. It's interesting that Chess Testosterone doesn't want to play c3. Like, almost always these King's Indian attack people, they'll almost automatically play c3. He's like fanatical about not playing c3, which is unusual. Now, if he plays bishop f4, I'm going to play e5. I guess I can play e5 here, with or without c3, but it weakens my position a little bit. b6 is a safe move. Sometimes I have bishop e7, sometimes bishop a6. I don't know though. You know, we still can develop the bishop out on this diagonal. I've actually played this sort of position with my knight on f6, as well as if my knight was on f6, I would handle it a little differently here now. c3 finally played, and I'm thirsty. It's like a specialist move order for white. I really appreciate white delaying that c3. Didn't know what to do with that. My rook on b8 off the long diagonal, but sometimes it can, you know, it can get attacked by stuff on f4. So you always have to be careful that that's possible as well. Here not, obviously, but there are some lines. So now I'm still maybe focusing on a sort of standard development with h6, bishop e6. If I don't play e5 there, by the way, I don't really know what to do. I mean, I guess I could play d5. Okay, d5 is... It just seems strange to play d5 with my rook on b8. I don't know why. It seems like later on I'll get hit by bishop f4 or something. But in the meantime, it's probably not that bad. Okay, if I play d5, he can just take. I take with my knight. It's like a normal King's Indian position with colors reversed. This way he's looking for possibly knight d5. I have to play h6. This is to stop knight g5 happening. But it's all standard King's Indian stuff. I play poker badly. I don't play poker very much now. I was doing poker full time between like 2009 and 2015, but the bankroll, my poker bankroll got kind of sucked out by life, spent it on all other stuff, and now I've got to make a living playing chess. The poker bankroll is definitely almost non-existent now, and I don't have time to play, like once a week, but not really. I don't really like playing online anymore. I focus better on one thing anyway. Bishop d2, that's never like an exciting square to put your bishop on d2, but sometimes necessary. He doesn't have knight d5, and we're intending like a standard sort of setup with queen d7, maybe f5 at some point, depending on what white does. But instead of bishop d2, it's possible, I've seen some people play like knight d2 in these sort of positions, and reinforcing the control of d5. Alright, b4. It's like not really a standard sort of idea here, but I don't think there's anything wrong with b4. Kind of non-standard playable move. He could drive my knight out to a weird place on a5. If b5, knight a5, if b5, f4, it's complicated. The one other time I played the King's Indian attack with my rook on b8, I can recall where this happened on the queen side. The same thing, I didn't have knight back to b8, I have to go out here, which is really weird. In that game, it was a team championship. They took on a5, but they gave up their dark squared bishop. And I remember that was kind of weird. It wasn't necessarily good for white. Now here I have this very strong Dvoretsky-esque kingside bind. But I don't know, you know, it's not that simple here. Usually these people who play the King's Indian attack are like, that's all they play. White seems quite knowledgeable about the structure. Chess has solid value. There's no money in chess. Everyone's solid. Poker is pretty much becoming more solid. Not enough players in poker anymore. I mean, it was great like when it was a huge trend, but now that it's not, it's a different world altogether. H3. H3. I'd rather like avoid exchanges probably. How am I going to break this guy down? He's like 1700. Damn, dude. 1600 in bullet. If I take on d5, I give up the e4 square. Either way, though, I mean... Actually, okay. I don't know. Bishop f5 gains a tempo, and then I could play, with my extra tempo, I could play something useful like maybe a discovery, maybe g4. Well, I mean, he can play c takes d. This is also possible, not losing a tempo. Actually, it's all moot because even like e takes d, bishop f5, I'm not threatening anything because I don't have bishop takes c4, bishop takes a5 wins a piece. So I'm not even sure where I should put my bishop here. Maybe I'm better off like putting it somewhere else. Well, anyway. Maybe g4 weakens his king's side, I don't know. On the other hand, maybe I should come back here, aiming at his king's side. Because I'm threatening e4 winning the exchange. I'll take anything I... Yeah, he even saw that. I'll take anything I can get at this point. It's like the 1700 from hell. Dude. Alright, e4, wait a minute. Bishop takes g7, pawn takes f3. Bishop takes f8, pawn takes g2. Bishop e7, I'm toast. So we don't even have that. I don't know. He seems really strong. Creating like a total bind, the whole board. Maybe I can flag him or something. This is an extremely good move. $17.80. Locking me down. It's like no way to break through. It's a complete force field. It's like no way to win. You can break with a6. I don't think that even helps me. And now I can't even get an h5 on the king side. Where's the donation link? It's right down in the panels here on Twitch. Okay, 94. I actually don't mind if you want to trade my bishop off, I guess, at this point. Help yourself. Oh my god, I just dropped my d6 pawn with check. It's the 1700 from hell. This just was hanging. Anyway, guys, I'm usually done by now. I'm supposed to play one more game with one of our new subscribers, who's an old subscriber. But I'm pretty much like toast at this point mentally. I've been streaming for 3 hours, no, 2.5, but that's a lot for me. I'm gonna start making crazy moves. There's just no way to win with black here. This is just we can just hold the fortress, I guess. You can almost like anticipate all my moves. I don't see black winning this position. Basically, Czech Grandmaster Hracek had a similar position against me where he just started walking his king over here to the queen side. It's like total Grandmaster plan. Maybe I should think about a6 now. I mean, whatever. I don't think there's any way to win this. And this guy's extremely strong for his rating. Our first game with chess testosterone. I don't know if he wants to try to win here. I'm just going to offer him a draw. Standard game. White's better according to the engine. It's all been played before up to this point. I like b4 a lot. Peter likes that move. Okay, guys. Last game with I didn't play Juicebox Wizard. I thought Zen Chess. Oh, you gotta go. Juicebox Wizard, I already played you, didn't I? We already played a game. So I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. You had the stream muted. Anyway, guys, it's time. I was gonna hang out for one more game with Zen Chess, but he had to leave. So that's it for today, guys. I'm gonna take off. Yeah, we are gonna. So you were inspired by that guy earlier who played Queen C7, B5, so I tried Bishop D2, B4. Okay, awesome. No, it was a good game by White. It's very hard. I'll be out here, guys, and I will see you tomorrow night. It's going to be, I think, Increment Blitz tournament. I'm going to host tomorrow night, 7 p.m. CET, every Tuesday night. This week, I think we're due for 5+2. So Increment Blitz, casual tournament, you know, usually like maybe 50 players just for fun here on lichess and Twitch. Thanks, Asterbait. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Again, thanks to Soltigo, all the support we had from the bit donations yesterday, all the subscribers. You guys are awesome. I'm going to get out of here and be back tomorrow night. Once again, 7 p.m., 5+2 casual blitz tomorrow night. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.